everyone, welcome to today's video, and today we're going to be talking about Lincoln and their new EV future that's coming really soon. So let's dive right in, because I think there's some interesting stuff we're going to talk about here with Lincoln and their upcoming product plans. Okay, so Lincoln, Ford's luxury brand, as we all know them really, they've been doing pretty good for themselves the past few years. We've seen incredible products come out, such as the Aviator. We've seen the Navigator come out. We've seen the Continental come out and die, unfortunately. And even nice new products like the Corsair, the heavily updated Nautilus, which was the previous MKX. So they're doing a lot of nice stuff. Their interiors are really nice. Quality has been stepped up to an incredible level. Good technology, really incredible seats, as we've all seen, and I've been able to test out in person as well. So what's happening in their future? So now they don't have any more sedans in the United States, as they've killed off the MKZ, which is based on the Ford Fusion platform, and the Continental, which was based on I forgot the platform exactly, but it was their larger front-wheel drive based vehicle platform. But I believe that platform is continuing on in China in the form of like a different modern Ford Taurus, which we don't get here, of course. Now, Lincoln did recently unveil the Zephyr reflection concept car in China. Now, the only reason I'm bringing this up is it's not because they're going to introduce a sedan in the US, which we're likely not going to see ever, probably soon, which is really unfortunate. But the reason this is pretty important is that they're introducing their next generation quiet flight design theme and kind of like a brand theme. So that's kind of debuting on this vehicle. So what does that mean? So we're basically seeing their next generation design language, both interior and exterior, unveiled here. So taking a quick look at this Lincoln Zephyr reflection concept that was unveiled in China, of course, ignore the whole sedan shape, but take a look at that front end. So we're seeing the kind of like the Lincoln front end evolved over time. We've seen their kind of nice grille that was like people used to think of it as like a Bentley or something a few years ago. Now it's kind of developed its more unique style, and you can clearly see it's very more uniquely Lincoln. And what I mean by that is you can kind of see like those unique angles, kind of shape design kind of matches the angles of the Lincoln badge, which is really interesting to note. And I do like how they carry out that Lincoln badge. They kind of use it as like a pattern, so that pattern's carried out throughout the grille, kind of cascading out. That's also kind of done a little bit now as well. They kind of kept a similar slim headlight theme going on in this concept as well, and you can kind of tell that the body's more sculpted, more smoothed out. There's sharper, more crisper, and less lines as well. And we see the similar Lincoln kind of spindle, like turbine style wheels, or the S-shaped wheels as well, kind of continuing, but more of like an evolved stance. Another big thing to point out is the further push and introduction of the light bar. So of course this one features the light bar, the rear LED tail light bar, which I think almost all Lincolns have right now. But now we're also seeing the introduction of a front LED light bar that's cascading into the grille, into the headlights, and kind of introducing a lit up Lincoln logo as well. Now, this is important because Lincoln has also announced that they will be unveiling their first all-electric SUV next year. So in 2022, we're going to see the first ever Lincoln electric SUV. And there's a really short clip I'm going to be playing right here showing you of what they sent out. And it's basically just those LED lights zooming in and out. So, and you can vaguely see in this image, a little short video, there's a definition of a grille shape. And if you just saw that Lincoln Zephyr reflection concept and are looking at this and you see the similarities, like, oh, that's pretty similar, which you will be very right, because that's that same new design theme that they're carrying over. So I just quickly basically took the design off of the Zephyr reflection concept and stuck it on an Aviator, kind of tried to make it blend together. So here's the result of that. So I did a little render of what we could maybe see in a Lincoln electric SUV. I guess we're gonna find out soon, but it won't probably look exactly like this. I just stuck the face onto an Aviator, so I'm sure it's gonna be much more unique and probably on like a more dedicated EV platform, maybe shared with the Mach-E. We're gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, so that's coming next year. And Lincoln has also announced that they want to transition to a full EV lineup by 2030. So they have 9 years to do that, or a little less than 9 years, I think, at this point. So a full EV lineup, and this kind of is going to kick off next year with their first ever EV. Now, Lincoln's also big on their interior. So their whole experience and the whole brand theme is called Quiet Flight. And it's basically to give you a luxurious, comfortable, cloud-like experience while on the road. I like how they're doing this, not sticking to all the sporty stuff that like Cadillac and other brands are doing. Yeah, that stuff's fun and all, but there's not really many luxury brands that actually solely and only focus on luxury, and Lincoln is doing that, and that's really nice to see. They've also revealed some first sketch images of kind of like their next generation interior design, and I think this is a really huge point to look at because Lincoln's current interiors are really, really nice, and they kind of pride themselves on the kind of clean, like American unique style to them, as well as the crazy seats that you can optionally get. They're like, I think it's like 30 plus weight adjustable seats, and this kind of looks like a evolution of that that we can see coming on. So we can kind of see more of like a more futuristic shaped seat in this kind of early sketch they're doing. Really nice, more open panels and then the glass and the roof. So that's probably hinting to like a large panoramic roof design. Maybe it'll have this pattern that we're seeing in this image or not. We'll come to see. We might see a concept come out too beforehand. So we'll have to wait and see on that exactly. Now, Lincoln's saying, let's just dive into this battery electric architecture. I'm guessing it may or may not be on the Mach-E, and the reason I'm saying it might not be is because they're saying it can accommodate both rear and all-wheel drive arrangements, and they're also expecting over 300 miles of range, so 300 to 400 miles of range. Now, of course, the Mach-E already can do rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, but the range is kind of limited at like around 300 miles of range, at least on the US cycle and through a lot of tests people doing. But if we see more than that, it could be on either have bigger batteries or more developed batteries, or it could be on a newer different platform as well. Lincoln's also going to be introducing their thing called Lincoln Active Glide. So currently we have like Lincoln Copilot 360 and Ford Copilot 360. Those are basically their safety systems. Active Glide is basically going to be Lincoln's more own brand style developed system, similar to like Cadillac Super Cruise and Tesla's Autopilot. So we're gonna have to wait and see what that's like. This is a very early stage of this, but we have seen Ford very slowly introducing their Ford Blue Cruise, which is debuting on the Mach-E. So it's basically that style of system. So this is basically gonna be Lincoln's version of that. So we'll have to wait and see when that comes out as well. So I think Lincoln's future, they have a bright future, as I think they're doing pretty well right now. I'm just really interested to see what this is going to be called. So there's some rumors of it possibly being called the Lincoln Mark-E. Lincoln used to have a lot of Mark, so M-A-R-K, not Mach, but Mark names back in the past, and we could see the reintroduction of that as well. We'll have to wait and see. Originally, this was supposed to be based on like a Rivian chassis, as Ford and Rivian have been working a lot together, but that apparently was canceled. So that's not happening anymore. So I'm guessing Ford's taking more of their own design approach to this SUV as well. But I think it's going to have some pretty tough competition in this segment. So it's going to be launching in a segment that's going to have the upcoming Cadillac Lyriq, which I think looks like an incredible product. We have the Audi e-tron, which is lagging in EV technology, but of course has the Audi feel, the Audi quality, and the Audi brand name. So people are still going to end up buying that. And of course, the big hitter, the Tesla Model X. And we're going to see some newer introductions as well. We're going to see the Rivian R1S, we're going to see the BMW iX come in, and a whole bunch of other vehicles slowly kind of developing in this category over the course of the next few years, such as even the Lucid Gravity is coming into this segment as well. Audi's going to be launching a larger SUV in this segment. I think it's going to be the Q6 e-tron or something else like that. So there's a lot of stuff coming in this EV SUV segment. So hopefully Lincoln can kick this up into production really, really soon and not drag it out too long. But I think Ford's been pretty good with that so far, especially with the Mach-E. Pricing, we're probably going to expect to see pricing ranging from like maybe the mid to high $60,000 range and going north from there. It should be capable of getting the $7,500 federal tax credit. That could change later down the road if it increases or decreases. We'll have to wait and see. And yeah, so I'm really excited to see what Lincoln's going to be doing with this, but we're still really left in the dark with all the big features that we all want to know. So like range, official range, battery size, we want to know charging speeds, we're going to want to know actual pricing. That's always going to be helpful to people. And of course, power numbers. This is going to make a lot of power, because we know Lincolns aren't, they're necessarily high performance, but they do like to have some nice, decent kick to them sometimes, as we can see with the Aviator Grand Touring, which has I think over 500 pound-feet of torque and 490-ish horsepower. There's a lot of power in that. Yeah, it's not high performance, but it's like that nice, luxurious power that's there. You want that power just to be able to pass or like high-speed cruise on a highway or something like that. Expect things like an adaptive air suspension and all that stuff. Maybe we'll see a dual motor all-wheel drive. Some might say we might see motors at each wheel. Ford's expressed their interest in both of those. We've already seen the dual motor all-wheel drive on the Mach-E, so that would be the most likely scenario. But they have expressed testing on different kind of powertrains as well. So there's a lot of stuff kind of left in the unknown that we should hopefully have answered either later this year or in 2022 when it's supposed to be unveiled for the first time. So thank you guys for coming into this quick update video on the Lincoln brand and what else they kind of have coming in the future. They do currently have right now have the Aviator plug-in hybrid, and I think the Corsair plug-in hybrid, which they call Grand Touring models, which are I think they're only electrified models they have right now. Hopefully we'll see more coming down in the future. We could see a power boost version of the Navigator coming out soon, possibly. So we'll have to wait and see with that. And again, thank you guys for watching this video, and stay tuned for a lot more updates coming soon.